I see. I'm in the stool. I'm like feet higher.
Just get back then. Just getting back first. Ooh, that's kind of intimidating.
Yeah, I got a fucking chair.
All this is recorded, by the way.
What?
All of this is recorded.
What do you mean recording?
I'm recording all of this.
Why?
I don't know, it's entertaining. Now you scoot your way up, you look... You gotta just scoot
Where
back
is this thing at?
The camera...
I feel like...
You know they can't see anything, right? Like, all they see right now is the Wagner Lynch logo. That's it.
I don't like the setup you did today.
Just... Okay, grab your bottle of water. You ready? I'm gonna play a song now.
Jesus. Billy Joel.
It felt kind of nice today.
Oh, that's good. Is that what we're going to start off with?
That's what we started off with today, Brecken.
Huh. We're going to start off with that? Like, hey! Yeah. That?
I don't know. Huh?
That's a congratulations.
You know what? Here. Let's just do what my original plan was. So I can talk to someone who's not, hey, Brecken, what's up, man? How are you doing?
Great.
Anyway, isn't this guy much more pleasant to deal with than this guy? I don't know.
I'm kind of partial to this guy.
Alright. So yeah, I guess we should at least mention that we were doing a jury trial today.
The other guy had more hair.
They got through with the jury trial today, State versus Robert Hendricks. We got a not guilty on 2 of the 3 counts, and 5 years on a singular count of domestic after 7 priors. And the jury recommended 5 years for a sentence.
And what was the recommendation from Chuck Sullivan's office, Pittsburgh County District Attorney's office, for a plea deal?
30 years. Yeah. So a nice change of pace from 30 to 5.
That's different.
You know, there's a weird argument, though, and I don't know how much people even know this. I know the jurors didn't know this because I talked to them afterwards, but the idea that we have like a sentence the jury recommends, but if the guy's already doing time, they can't recommend whether or not it runs concurrently with that, or whether or not it's at an additional amount of time that the person would do.
All right, you bring up an excellent point. This is something that drives me nuts. I mean, and we do jury trials all the time. As a matter of fact, no one does more jury trials than us. I will make that blanket statement and challenge anyone to go ahead and say that they do more. They don't.
I'm going to caveat it with in the state of Oklahoma.
That's what I meant.
Okay.
Oh, in the state of Oklahoma.
I think there are probably people somewhere that do more jury trials than us.
Not many. Anyway, but we hear this at every jury. Here's the thing here at every jury trial, and I'm not going to go into the first one because we got 30 minutes. We have the greatest system in the world. Yeah, it's a great system. I'm not going into that whole thing. The other one I don't like, that I can't stand is like you said, judges will always tell the juries that they are the ones who...
You're fixing a punishment.
You're fixing a punishment. You are this... I've heard this before. Oklahoma is unique in that the juries have fixed punishment in Oklahoma. Nope. No.
You're making basically a recommendation for punishment.
That's what it is.
I've never seen a judge go below that recommendation.
Well, I have.
You have?
There was... Yeah, it was a... we had a suspended sentence on account. I'm trying to rack my brain. I know what's happened. I know we have. Oh, and we're gonna get to consecutive. We've had a judge go concurrent instead of consecutive. What you're talking about is when people have multiple convictions.
Right.
Say you've got case number.
Well, let's not even say. Robert had a probation case.
Yeah.
That was revoked based on the allegation in the jury trial.
Yeah.
And that revocation, he got 10 years on that revocation. Bless you.
Yeah, thanks.
And, we're arguing the same facts. It's the exact same facts as the revocation for the new case. Mm-hmm. And so the argument I had was, if we're arguing the same facts, the jury should know that if they make a recommendation on punishment, they don't get to pick whether that runs with that 10 years he already got, or whether it would be tacked on to the end. I know the DA is going to argue, I want to tack it on to the end, whatever it is.
But the DA wants to argue that to the judge.
Yeah. I don't want to argue that to the jury.
No.
Because the jury heard all their evidence and thought 5 years, but they can maybe get 15 out of a 5-year recommendation.
Yeah, and which that always puts us in the strangest argument at sentencing. And what you're saying is Robert's already doing time.
Yeah.
The trial you did.
He's already doing time on it.
Doing but he's doing time in a different case, but because of it.
Right.
The revocation. But he's doing time. The man who sat next to you today at the table was property of the Department of Corrections.
Right.
Okay. So in a few weeks from now, you're going to have a sentencing, and the trial you did today, the only recommendation is for 5 years.
5 years.
At that sentencing, that judge, what the judge gets to decide to do is the judge can accept the jury's verdict.
Right.
The judge can
He can also reject the verdict?
Well, he's got sentencing power.
Well, you could ignore the sentence recommendation, but you couldn't say I'm not taking the verdict.
They can't reject the verdict.
Yeah, well,
I don't mean like that. The recommendation. The recommendation of years.
Okay, cut. And action. Go back.
Recommendation of years. He can reject the recommendation. And then he gets to decide the crucial question. Is this 5 years going to be concurrent, which means running day for day, which is typical.
Running at the same time as the other case, yeah.
Or is it going to run what's called consecutive, meaning that Robert's got to complete all of his other time before he can start completing the 5 years that he's got today.
Yeah.
Yeah, and juries aren't informed that they don't get to make that decision.
And specifically are told, I got told I could not inform them of that option either, that was what happened.
I don't know about that.
That's what happened. Yeah, and also couldn't inform them that the whole reason he was revoked was because of the exact same allegations, because it is two separate cases, but the only thing that the revocation was based on was the allegations in this case.
Yeah.
So we had two odd arguments. Interestingly, it ends up in a conviction. There might be an option for him to get an indigent appeal on some of those issues because I think they're novel questions.
So do you want to talk today about how the revocation process has pretty much made our justice system into nothing more than a plea bargaining system, has pretty much destroyed the jury trial process?
My goodness, we hadn't even picked a topic yet today.
You want to do that one?
That sounds fine with me. And this is, like I said...
And that's the premise, right?
Yeah, this case is a prime example of exactly that. The only reason we're having a jury trial on this is because the state wouldn't agree to just run things concurrent with the revocation case because he already had the 10. Yeah.
10 years.
At the point at which he's already got the 10, there's really not a whole lot of incentive to do a jury trial, usually because the state will just say, okay, well, the new case, run it concurrent with the other one. I would say 85-90% of the time that's what happens. Maybe more.
Well, yeah, most of the time.
This one is I want 30 years on this case and the 10-year revocation, which is why we got to do a jury trial on it, because typically it's too much of a risk.
It is. Well, the risk is what I want to talk about. So if we rewind backwards.
Stop banging on the table. You're shaking your can.
I'll do it. If we rewind backwards, right?
Yeah.
To the beginning, and we talk about probation. Okay, probation.
Oh man, you got all the soapboxes you want to get on today.
Oh God, there's so many things about probation. And I'm gonna try to keep it simple. So probation, we're trying to do probation because we're not want to send people to prison.
Yeah.
So we come up with these probation
rehabilitation. Ideas. We're gonna to monitor them and give them service plans and have them do things.
It's a BS way to get money out of poor people. But anyway.
How about this? How about it has become much more of a... And not, you know what? I'll buck you on this a little bit. I don't blame the DAs for our current... Well, come on. For our current probation mix-up. Because what I saw happen was politically a very conservative legislature that slowly cut budgets in every single area.
True.
And then passed away for them to cut more budgets by letting the DAs collect their own money for something in exchange for a budget cut. So if you wanted more money, you could go get it, but you were going to have to go get it from criminal defendants and not from the state budget.
But we wrapped it in a blanket of, hey, this is a real program and really designed to help people. It does.
Yeah, but there are like 5 attorneys in the legislature right now in Oklahoma. It wasn't the District Attorney's Council that said we want to do probation fees.
I get you.
It's the rest of the folks that carry an R after their name that did that.
Okay.
Not all R's, just everyone that's currently in the House or Senate in Oklahoma.
I got an R after my name.
You would have cut this budget too.
All right.
True or false?
Let's go back to
probation. You would have cut the DA's budget.
Yeah.
Yeah,
come back to
then you would have said...
For many reasons.
Okay. I'm just saying, this was a political problem that created what is now a real problem for people who come into contact with the DA's office. For some folks, it's great. For Jimmy Joe Bob, who's driving through and picks up a charge and lives in Texas, he can get no probation in exchange typically for sending $960 to the DA's office. He doesn't get supervised. He doesn't have to check in. He's going to have, rules, conditions of probation, but literally not a soul's going to check on it so long as he sends his money into the DA's office. And for people who live in counties where this DA supervision is either understaffed or not staffed at all, it's the same setup. I've got rules and conditions of probation. I go check in once, but then I'm basically done as long as I pay these folks.
As long as I pay money.
Right.
Which is a hang up a lot of people have with the system, including myself. And we could go, the money thing. What I guess what's really getting at was we had a trial today. Yeah. And we're always talking about how rare a trial is. I've got a trial tomorrow. We've got a trial next week.
Yeah.
We're always talking about how rare a trial is, and the reason why I think trials are rare is because of our probation system.
Yeah.
It's because we have eroded away. We put so much risk on the back end for you to take your cause, your case to 12 people, your peers. You don't do it.
Not even to a trial. Just to take it to a prelim.
Oh, God.
Because remember, Robert didn't get revoked on his probation at trial.
Prelim.
He got revoked at a preliminary hearing where the burden of proof is much lower, where we typically would not present evidence at a preliminary hearing.
So folks understand what that looks like. Robert got other cases he's on probation for.
Right.
He gets accused of a crime. He says, "I'm innocent of."
Right.
Okay. And this is how any case could go with the probation system. He's on probation for 10 years. He has a constitutional right to a preliminary hearing. A preliminary hearing, all that is a stopgap.
Yeah.
It's a way
to check, make sure you've got enough.
So that we don't pull citizens from the street for a jury trial when there shouldn't be one, because there's not enough here. It's we call it prima facie, or just enough evidence. They got a preponderance of the evidence to meet the elements of the crime, right?
Probable cause. Yeah.
Probable cause, preponderance over 50%. All that. It's a very low burden.
And today at trial, I described it as that $1,500 burden.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good way to describe it.
Right, small claims court burden. Like
it's a small.
I'm trying to get a judgment against you for to kick you out of an apartment or to get $1,000 from you.
It's hard.
That's the level of proof you have to revoke someone on probation.
It's hard to imagine, but what you're saying is, to put this in real terms, you're having a criminal hearing. You're having a hearing in a criminal case, and the burden of proof that the state has to prove is essentially the same thing you would see for whoever prevails in a case in front of Judge Judy.
That's exactly right.
It's 100%. Right?
That's, yeah.
All right. Now, simultaneously.
Not simultaneous. What the heck?
Man, I don't know.
Simultaneously.
The state has filed a motion to revoke that is also being heard at the same time in preliminary hearing.
Right.
For judicial economy.
And you can't, remember, you're in a preliminary hearing, you still want to preserve your trial rights. So we typically won't call witnesses because we haven't got to see any of the evidence yet.
It's a preliminary hearing.
Preliminary hearing, we don't have, I've got a probable cause affidavit in Pittsburgh County. The end.
Yeah. And they'll fight us tooth and nail. That's all they have to give us.
Right.
They don't want us to know anything about the truth.
To be fair, it's happening in Tulsa County now too, where I'm getting people fighting every step of the way to give discovery.
Well, that's because every lawyer in that office is from Tulsa.
That's also true. It's not. I didn't think about that.
Yeah. We don't have any local DAs.
So yeah, you got no evidence going in to get ready.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't want to tip off your hand to your jury trial strategy, so you're not calling a bunch of witnesses.
Nope.
You can't call your client, because then if you call your client, all that transcript, all that testimony can be used against them in the trial.
Mm-hmm.
And it happens to be a sentencing on their alleged rules violations at the same time that it's a preliminary hearing.
It can be, yeah. And here's the kicker. The application to revoke, the burden of proof, technically the law is lower.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as low as it is just to get bound over for trial, just for the state to get past preliminary hearing, it's technically lower.
So do you end up with a situation exactly like today, where you've got 12 people who are hand-picked to hear these facts that say this is a 5-year case, and the guy's already got 10? for the exact same facts.
That another judge heard.
Right. Because he only got he got a piece of it.
Yeah.
He didn't get all of it. And the other thing is all these long suspended sentences. We've seen this all the time where people like
20 years.
Give me 30 years on paper. I don't care what it is as long as I can get out of jail.
I have one right now that came out of Muskogee County where a guy has 45 years of probation. I was not his attorney.
45 years to not get.
And the attorney that got that, the attorney that did that deal, that's 45 years to not get a speeding ticket.
Well, I mean, come on.
I know, come on, but really,
Misdemeanor. How about a misdemeanor?
Anyway,
I'll take a misdemeanor.
Well, the attorney knows who he is that got that deal. That was terrible.
By the way, you're getting real close. Look how red your face is. We didn't even turn our light on today.
Where?
Mm-mm. Oh. Anyway, yeah.
Yeah, it worked up.
But anyway, it's a bad system. But I think that, while we're on systems, let's talk about a great system. Sure. And what a great system this bicycle would be for transportation. I mean, if you can imagine, Brecken, on your typical runs day to day, you wouldn't even have to get in a car if you were to have this bicycle. Juiced, brought to you by Juice Bikes, could very well help you with a better system for transportation, Brecken.
Yeah. Has anybody called?
No, not yet. But somebody's going to find someone. Guys, we will stop with this.
Yeah.
If you'll just find them and have them give us a bicycle. I would like to. We'll take one. That's it.
Well, then we're going to look for somebody else to...
Yeah, well, maybe.
Some free stuff,
I mean,
right?
we did have... The girls today decided that by the way, presented by Juice Bicycles. It's under you. We got these cupcakes that were pecan pie, pumpkin pie, apple pie, baked in a spiced cupcake.
Which is not a good idea to order stuff like that if you want to keep your hair.
Oh, it was so good. I ate 2 of them. I think I ate 1,500 calories of cupcake today.
Did you notice? See, I told Tony about
Juice,
this.
you don't get this yet. I don't know why I'm giving this to you.
You know that...
You don't get this until you give us a bicycle.
You know that glob on top was not icing?
No, it was like...
It's butter.
Yeah.
It's a glob. It's a glob of like... But not butter. There's that... What's that? Special butter. I don't know. It's spicy butter.
Regular butter? Okay, hold on a second.
What?
They're not seeing us yet, okay? I
Okay.
want them to see. We gotta get our... I want to put our light back on. Man, it seems really bright.
Okay.
Is that better or worse?
I don't know.
Guys, tell us what we think about having a light. I don't know. I don't know the light makes that much of a difference.
I don't either.
Makes me look really shiny. Anyway, speaking of lights, we did a lot of work this week in front of lights and on cameras.
Yeah. Yeah, we did.
Some of you guys might have seen our Facebook post where we're asking for,
Jurors.
people to come play jurors. And that's because we did a video, crisp video came in, and we did the bulk of... We filmed for a day for a 3-minute video.
That's all day. That's all day. It's really great. They're good folks.
Yeah, it was fun. Hilarion, which was our cinema video...
Yeah, I never asked about the name.
Okay, he's probably not watching this, but if he was, the first thing I thought was like, this is Marvel Universe's... I figured this was Marvel Universe's answer to the Joker. Hilarion. Doesn't it sound like a Marvel character?
It sounds... You've been working on that?
No, it came to me immediately.
Really?
I
never thought of that.
My inner Stan Lee came out and said, oh, that would make a great Joker-esque bad guy for...
That could work.
Marvel Universe.
Actually, that's not bad.
Hilarion.
His girlfriend, Joker's girlfriend was...
Harley
Quinn.
I'm very familiar with the name.
So Hilarion's girlfriend would be what? Prostitute?
I don't know.
Anyway,
that was the worst.
Special thank you to Gary Wayne.
Gary Wayne Reeser came down. Bless his heart, he stopped chasing folks in Muskogee for long enough to come do a video with us, although he was late.
Yeah.
Twice.
Gary Wayne's a client of ours, police officer in Muskogee. We helped him with a car wreck.
Yeah, I would say former client at this point. He's a satisfied former client.
That's right. Yeah, he would be a satisfied former client.
That's right.
We helped with a car wreck, and he came down to say some nice things on camera for us. That was nice.
Well, you know, the thing about Gary Wayne that I think is important is, especially after today when I had a jury trial where I think most people would believe the police would dislike us after that. Gary Wayne's a police officer. And, you know, he called us when he had something because he knew us and he knew we were familiar.
We've
had several police officers.
Lots of clients who are police officers. Yeah.
So it's weird. People always say, well, I have people regularly talk about, well, why do you hate police so much? Or why are you...
Oh,
we don't. We don't.
No. I used to teach them.
Yeah, we've both done cleat. Did you full cleat or reserve?
I did the cleat when cleat was in Oklahoma City.
Okay, see, I taught the reserve cleat at Latimer County for a while.
Yeah, that's right.
Then they got me drunk one time trying to do field sobriety tests on me.
Yeah.
Passed several of them when I should not have.
Well, that was the breathalyzer discussion. I told you that's fake.
Don't go full circle. We're not going
told
back.
You that was
we just did it.
Fake science. Anyway. Yeah, but Gary Wayne was
here. Yes.
Want to thank the Ogdens. We were at the Ogden farm. That's nice. Your mom was.
Nana Jane. By the way, hold on. I don't know. I should have loaded this picture up beforehand. It would have been much better.
Well, I'll go on with the thank yous, and you can find the picture.
Yeah, go ahead.
Other thank yous. We actually, did you mention the police? Thanks to Gary Wanzik, our police chief.
Yeah, and
who was very kind to let us use the new detective division in McAllister is the old federal courthouse.
Right.
And in that federal courthouse is a courtroom, and that's the courtroom we use to film our stuff with Chris with the video. And the only reason we could do that is because Gary was nice enough to let us.
That's it.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Going back, we're talking about Ogdens. Have you guys seen this? This is where you make yourself into a man or woman. This is Nana Jane on the morning of our video shoot. She's gonna hate that, but it was hilarious.
He's been obsessed with that app.
Oh, I got.
I know.
I got Lloyd and Jim at the courthouse today to both do it, and Antron. Robert.
Lloyd looked pretty good for a woman.
A lot of facial hair came through.
Yeah, he looked pretty good for a woman though.
Yeah.
I never would have thought that, Lloyd. Also, special thanks to Robert and Steven.
Those guys.
It'll be Robert Cox and Steven Tyler Ullman.
They were so stinking supportive and nice the whole time, and they were happy to see everybody and to see everything. And that's it's a case that never ended whenever it was open, and it's a friendship that's continued after, which is great.
It has been. As a matter of fact, Robert called me today because he needed to get the number of my folks because he's heading through Missouri, and he wanted to stop and.
Well, because your folks made it to his trial. We've had families sometimes that are at trials because it's, it's a time to see what we're actually doing. And your mom and dad came to their trial.
Well, we've always said that. It's an open invitation. Remember how many times have we sat here and said, please, go to a trial. You don't have to go to ours.
Yeah.
But we always do them, so.
If you go to Pittsburgh County, it's probably ours anyway, so.
Yeah. Oklahoma County. But yeah, to all our friends in Norman, Oklahoma
He's starting
City.
Tomorrow on a new one. Misdemeanor. It'll be one day. You can watch a whole trial in a day.
Yeah, if you want to see a whole day trial, you can be Pittsburgh County tomorrow.
Yeah.
In front of Judge McLaughlin, starting at 9 o'clock. There's a jury trial.
Is this his first?
This is first.
Okay.
To be a 6-person jury because it's a misdemeanor, so that'll be one trial. If you ever want to see a whole trial but not spend a whole week,
that's the one to go to.
1 day trial, and then next week to all our friends in Norman, Oklahoma City.
If you ever want to see a 1 week trial and to take a full week, that's going to be the one to go to.
We've got a trial up there where it's a heavy accusation. It's an accusation of rape.
What a messed up fact pattern. It's just a weird deal.
Yeah, we'll be in trial up there. But everybody should go see. Yeah, it's where you have. It's the number one place where you as a citizen have access to your government.
And I had, I did debate all the way through high school. I never did mock trial, but I knew about it. I did mock trial stuff in law school, and it is nothing like a trial.
No.
I mean, it's so strange to go in. It's more like a hearing. All those competition things remind me more of like how a hearing would be conducted. But to actually see a jury trial and kind of see the interplay between the attorneys and the regular folks that are there to be the most important people in the room, I don't know. I think it's pretty unique, and it's not something you can get from a TV show. There are some, documentaries and things. Like, was it Jerry that did the series where they actually did a full blown jury trial?
Oh, and it's on YouTube. That is talking about Jerry Spence. That's really a really great thing to watch. And you can find on YouTube. It was an old PBS special,
right?
And it was from 1980s. Yeah, I know it was the 80s, but Jerry Spence and Bugliosi. Mr. Bugliosi, he prosecuted Manson.
Yeah.
Vincent Bugliosi prosecuted Manson. Bugliosi was played the state of Texas versus Oswald.
Yeah.
Lee Harvey Oswald. And Jerry Spence represented Lee Harvey Oswald.
Right.
To a jury of 12 citizens. And the judge who presided over the case wasn't a state judge. He's actually a federal judge. But the judge presided over this case was a judge who's now deceased, but was a federal judge. And it is excellent. They brought in the witnesses. They really made it into a trial. And it's a really cool thing to watch. And it's really good. And I would say that's probably one of the closest things you're going to see if you want to watch something on
without showing up.
Like yeah. It's not a court TV thing or something like that.
Right.
Yeah. That's a good example, but you can find it on YouTube. There's a trial of Lee Harvey Oswald. But yeah, real trial is totally different. I know what you mean.
Yeah.
What you're saying. As somebody who never did speech and debate and mock trial, and I never did any of those things, folks. I didn't. And now I've known you, and I've gotten into doing it and seeing. I've went to some of the speech competitions.
You judged some for
Jane. Yeah.
Or Manna Jane, as we called her after we took the
But now I see it because I didn't know it because you don't do it.
Yeah.
But I see it in other attorneys, like younger attorneys, whatever, that are speech and debate guys, and they'll do it in the courtroom in a trial, and it doesn't work. It doesn't translate. It's a different place. What happens at jury trial is way different.
Yeah, the stuff that I did, the speech and debate, the mock trial, all those things kind of helped you get more comfortable speaking about legal things,
which is great.
But it had nothing to do with talking to a jury or, frankly, doing anything that I would call effective advocacy. Now, I would have told you that what I was doing was effective advocacy 5 years ago, and I would have been, I think me now would look back then and go, you probably were not doing great.
Well,
but
I'd say
now, especially, it's a big difference.
You can tell me the biggest difference I notice is in speech and debate, you're given a side, right? And if you disagree with it, doesn't matter. You still have to argue it,
right? Well, but I mean, it's not a whole lot different than some cases.
No, because when we stand in there, we're not going to say anything that's not. We don't believe 100% is the truth to the jury.
That's true. Yeah,
there's nothing. I'm never going to argue for something.
You take some of the. And I'm dealing with an attorney right now that reminds me of this exact thing, who I will not name, but speech and debate's all about the super technical, like I've got to win one of these arguments in a flow, right? There are 37 arguments. I need to show and hit each one of these and show which one of these I pull across and win and why, and it doesn't have to be super common sense based. Not something a normal person would go, oh yeah, that makes sense. But even a real extra super technical thing that I can maybe make flip and turn around, I just got to make an argument on it. Because if I make an argument, at least then if they have to respond, and if they don't respond directly, by God, I want to say you dropped it, and it's now the most important thing that ever happened. That's the big difference. That's speech and debate world. Real world is, at the end of the day, you got to know that there has to be something that you could convince or be able to show normal, everyday people that makes sense.
Another important thing you said, I heard it. You said in order to win.
Yeah.
That's how you know that you're. I think that's the first sign that you're letting down your client if you're walking in there to win.
Yeah.
Because when we talk about is we tell stories at trials, which you did today.
Yeah.
Is you stand there and you tell a story and you're putting your whole heart and soul out there, and it's not like a competition.
Right.
It's not. It's the furthest thing in the world from a competition.
Yeah.
But we know lots of attorneys that do that the other way. And
yeah. We're worried about the tit for tat and the conviction percentage or the acquittal percentage.
Mm-hmm.
And don't get me wrong, we like to put acquittals on the board, but
Oh yeah.
at the end of the day, that 5 years, acquittal or not acquittal,
It's a win.
that is that's a moral victory for Robert.
Yeah. Had a very happy client today.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the important part.
We somehow managed to ramble on for exactly 30 minutes right now.
I think having a very happy client today, and starting with congratulations.
I didn't even take a picture
Probably.
with him. That was the worst part.
Probably.
He was there. We didn't take a picture with Lady Justice like we would normally do, but I gave him enough money for a pack of cigarettes on the way home, so hopefully they took care of him, let him go smoke a little bit, and we'll see him in a couple weeks for sentencing, and hope that we can convince some folks to follow what the jury said and not, do something that doesn't make any sense.
Hopefully so. Well, we learned a lot today.
Yeah. Hey, if you're not busy tomorrow, Pittsburgh County Courthouse.
Yeah, go see
the
a truck.
third floor in Bears courtroom, probably.
I believe so. They're done up there. It's Judge McLaughlin. If you ask anybody in the courthouse, they're going to point you
Get to
in
the
the
third
right direction.
floor. Go watch a jury trial.
Oh, and I was talking to somebody today about you being in trial and telling them they should go in and say they were worried about walking in and making a scene. This is a public forum.
Yeah.
All you need to just be respectful, open the door quietly, go in, sit down. I mean, that's it.
Yeah.
You are not. It is perfectly okay. You're not hurting anybody by going in and sitting down.
And it doesn't matter what side you sit on. There's not some assigned seating. Although, if you go in, you will see police officers and DAs and some untold number of staff from the DA's office. I'm never sure why there are 6 people from the DA's office there sitting on the DA side of the aisle. It does not matter, though, to us where you would sit, just as long as you go and observe, because frankly, that's the only way anybody gets to know about what really happens in these trials. There'll be an article in the paper today or tomorrow about this jury trial, and bless his heart, the guy that came in and reported, I'm sure he's going to write the best article he can. It's nothing. They're never anything like what it was actually like to be there and watch some of the suspense of what's going on.
You need to. And as a citizen, you really should.
Because it could be you or in any of those roles.
It could be you in any of those roles. That's right. And as a citizen, you should see that it's the closest you ever come to taking a part in your government.
And the closest that we're ever going to get to really being comfortable on a bicycle is if we were able to get to these juice bikes. On that note, I want to say to friendly Brecken, who I'd invited today. Brecken didn't think he was going to be here. So I'd invited this guy to be my video. I'm sorry that we had to cut your segment. I'll save this graphic for some other time for when you're unavailable.
All right.
If you want, I'll get you a nice Blake to go along with it, and you can just put both of them on the screen and talk in the background.
I'm surprised you used that picture. You were in a hurry. Did you look for the jackalope?
Listen,
you looked for the
here's
jackalope,
what happened, and I was so tempted, but I didn't do anything.
There's a picture of me riding a jackalope.
There is. And it's at the end of our Hulk Hogan-esque paper video. But your Facebook was up, and that's where I had to go find a picture. And I was tempted to go dig, and I said, you know what? No, I'm just going to take his profile picture. I did a nice thing. I didn't post anything that I thought about posting. I didn't take for any good photo. I did nothing except for take your profile picture, which I feel like you should thank me, even though
I should thank you. I should remember this.
I had a lot of opportunity.
Okay. Thanks.
All right, folks, thanks for coming this week. Feel free to comment. Let us know. I don't know where you came to. Yeah, thanks for showing up. But take a minute, comment. We like to watch these videos as they premiere. We'll try to comment back and hit you back if you hear anything. And again, if there's ever anything you want to hear on a video, please let us know.
Just let us know.
Yeah.
We'll talk about anything.
All right. Fade to...
Fade? We're going to fade? Is it fade?
I'm going to fade to Brecken.
Oh, okay.
And then
I'm just going to leave
fade on out. You guys have fun.